Hello, I'm Lori Joe Vest. Thank you so much for joining me for Module 1 of Social Media Goodness. What we're going to talk about today is some social media basics, some things that you need to know before you get started. And this is a 10 module course. We have several other things we're going to cover, but I just want to give you kind of an overview of what we'll talk about, as well as some things to take with you, some things that you can use immediately to amp up your social media results. So, module 1 is about marketing versus just social media posting. And the goal is we want you to understand the difference just between social media activity and social media that's done with a strategic marketing mindset. And that's what will drive business results for you. So, why do most businesses struggle with social? Because everybody can play the guitar, right? Everybody has the ability to get on social media now, create an account, and start publishing and creating content. And they see influencers and they, might build up a pretty hefty audience over time. And maybe they have a special hobby that they talk about. And so the person may be really active on social and have a wonderful personal social media account. That does not mean that they know how to do social media marketing. Here's what social media marketing is, and here's what it isn't. What it is creating a relationship with people in your community online so that they get an impression of your company, they become aware of you, they get a solid, good, strong impression of what you do and your product or your service. They become engaged with you, and then they convert to a customer or a volunteer or a donor, depending on how you're using social media marketing. So what social media marketing is not is putting up constant billboards because you want to let people know things. You can let people know things all day long. That doesn't mean that they're actually going to act on what you've shared. Social media marketing is about creating a solid, positive, connected relationship with your consumer, your prospect. It's not about letting them know what you think they should know. It's providing them with something that's useful to them, connecting to them, and then evaluating and valuing and appreciating that relationship, and an understanding that your community is not there to serve you. You are there to serve your community. And that's what good social media marketing does. So, how do you know which social media platforms your business should be on? That is a really good question, because sometimes what we see is people will go to the social media platform that they feel most comfortable with. For example, I work with a business owner that just loves Instagram. She's just totally into Instagram. And so that's where she spends most of her time. Now, we have had conversations and we have discussed moving over to the other channels, but she's just not committed to doing that. And if you don't commit to choosing the right platform for your business goals over choosing the platform that you're most comfortable with, you won't get the ROI that you're looking for. And that's why you're taking this course, so you can get ROI. So, how do you pick the platforms? You research your audience. Who buys your product? Who are you selling to? Who does your product make the most difference for? Those are the people that you want to target on social media. What you'll do with that audience information is you'll do the research to find out where are they and what are they doing there. Are they on YouTube doing research? Are they on TikTok being entertained or looking for information? Are they networking on LinkedIn if it's B2B? Are they sharing their recipes and things and really getting into crafting or cooking on Pinterest or Instagram? So there's a lot of different places that your audience could be, and you want to choose the platforms that serve your audience best, that are aligned with your business goals, and that will give you the most ROI. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. You do not have to be on 10 channels. Pick 3 or 4. Pick 2 if that feels better. It's better to do good social on a limited number of channels than it is to spread yourself too thin and put the wrong social up on TikTok or LinkedIn and just totally fail. So Pay attention to your audience, and that will help you select the right platform. Two of the terms that you will hear people in social media throw around are engagement and conversion. And we're going to talk about what those things are and then why you need them and why you need to pay attention to them. Now, to define engagement, engagement means the number of people who chose to engage with your post. It could be a like, a share, a comment. Maybe they watched, a minute of the video. Those all count as engagement actions. And you take that number of engagement actions and you divide it by the number of people who saw the post, your impressions. And with that math, you're going to come up with a percentage. Now, it might be a low percentage because, believe it or not, a pretty decent engagement rate for corporate America is 1 to 3%. And that might seem really low, but it's really not. It's 1 out of 100 people. You are on social media to make sure that your content gets shown to a significant number of people. 1 out of 100 engaging with your content is really not a bad number. But with the right kind of content, you can hit engagement numbers that are more like 25% or 30%. And then you really know that you're serving your audience. So put a pin in that one. That's important to remember. The other number we're going to talk about is conversion. And that can mean any number of things. For us, it often means somebody responded to an ad by filling out a lead form. And that means they're providing us and our clients with the name, email address, and phone number of the person who is the prospect. So they're putting all that information in so that you can have someone contact them from your company. And we do that for dental practices, which it works really well for dental practices. Right now, we are doing it for school. And to them, what conversion means is they have to fill out the application. If they went to the website, but they didn't fill out the application, then they didn't convert. That's how they um, define conversion. Conversion can just mean click throughs if you're trying to create awareness or you want to prove that your website is a valuable resource for your audience. Click throughs can be a form of conversion too. So, those two numbers, engagement and conversion, are things that you want to pay attention to. Conversion, if it's 1%, 2%, you're doing great. If it's 10%, you're really doing something right. So, what we do at Pop Speed Digital Marketing is we look at engagement as a way to determine that we're doing things the right way, that our audience is engaged, they're interested, we're sharing the right content. And then we also look at engagement as a number that will help us determine which posts we want to promote, put an ad spend behind. So if we have a high engagement number, we know that our audience really likes that content. And we may choose to put our, $250 ad spend behind that post as opposed to another one that maybe, had a 1% engagement. So those two numbers are important. Remember those, and we'll get back to those. You'll hear that over and over as we continue to go through this course. Now, one of the biggest problems that we see with entrepreneurs and business owners or marketing people that have been given social media as just one task of many things that they have to do is sometimes they aren't able to give it the attention that it deserves. And they do what we call random acts of content. And what that means is that two people came in wearing the same color shirt. So you took a picture of them and put it up and said twinsies. That doesn't serve your business goals. I mean, it just doesn't serve your business goals. And or maybe a vendor came in and they brought in a spread of food for a meeting. And, we've seen people take pictures of the food and say, oh, look what one of our vendors brought us. And it's a picture of food. But you're a dental practice, so what does a nice spread of food have to do with anything? So again, not serving the business goals and going for the easy post. And an easy post is often not a win. Your social content should have some thought behind it. It should have a reason for being. It should align with your business goals. It should not be random. And another thing we see with the randomness is if people aren't giving social media a consistent effort and just throwing something up once in a while and there's 2 to 3 weeks in between posts, then they go around and say social media doesn't work. Oh, drives me nuts. Social media does work, but not if you're practicing random acts of content. Here are 3 myths that we hear frequently about social media marketing that we think may be helpful for you as you start this learning more about social journey. One of the myths that we hear constantly is that you can make a post go viral. No, you can't do that. And if you could make a post go viral, then everybody would be doing it and there would be no such thing as going viral, right? Things go viral because of a specific moment in time. It happened to hit on the current pop culture zeitgeist in a certain way, and that had everybody reacting to it. It could be something brand new that no one's really done before. It could be something super silly. You just don't know. And so when somebody says we need to make this go viral, you know that they don't know social media marketing because there's really no way to do that. You can put a lot of money behind your social and get it shown to a whole bunch of people and get some really great ROI, but you can't push virility. It just doesn't happen. The other thing people talk about is follower counts, and that if you have 5,000 followers, you must be doing great. Or if you don't have 5,000 followers, you'll never do anything on social media. Both of those things are untrue. People who have a ton of followers may have bought those followers. There are people out there that sell followers and they're usually from, another country. They're kind of random. They don't have real accounts. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. What matters is that you have people who follow you that are truly interested in what you do. That counts so much. You can have 1,200 followers and do really well if they're the right 1,200 followers who want your product, who want to hire you, who want to give you referrals. So follower counts are not as important as some people think they are. And again, we'll dig into that a little bit further deeper into this course. And the last thing I want to talk about is posting frequency. People get strange ideas about how often they need to post. And for example, I was looking at a client's social media today, potential client social media. We're doing a proposal, and I was kind of going through to see what they had done in the past. And they're posting 7 to 10 times a week, twice a day. That is so much content. And what I'm willing to bet they're doing is they're doubling up on their content. They're not putting a spend behind the content. So they're trying to make up for that with just posting a ton of content. Well, the reality is that 2 to 3 times a week is fine, and a small ad spend is required. You have to put money behind your social content. We see a wide range in those budget figures. I have one client that spends $2,000 every single month. They need leads. It's a very competitive audience, so it's more expensive. Now, I have another client that's a charter school, and I think we spend $75 a month, and it does so well. Their content gets shown to tons of people, and it's a very, very small ad spend. So just know that you don't need to post 10, 12 times a week. You can post 2 to 3 times a week and make it meaningful, solid, strong content instead of just throwing, churn and burn, kind of throwing it out there to see what happens. Part of marketing is what's called the sales funnel. And social media has its own unique sales funnel that I want to just give you a quick bit of information about so that you'll be able to think in these terms as we move through this social media training course. So, social media marketing, the funnel that we're talking about that you'll see here in this graphic, guides your potential customers from not even knowing who you are to becoming strong advocates. Now, social media doesn't do the whole job. Your people have to provide a good quality product, and you have to have good customer service, and you have to take care of your end. But we're going to assume that you are doing that. You are already doing that, and that's why you're ready to market. A social media marketing funnel starts at the top with awareness. So, for awareness, you may want to do something that's really engaging and run very targeted ads with a higher ad spend so that you get more awareness in your audience. And that is a really good place to start. You can't start selling them right away, but you can start showing them who your brand is. So that's the kind of content that will help you build awareness. Now, the next step of that is consideration. And that's where you want to kind of lure them in, prove to them that you're good at what you do. And some of the ways we do that is with customer testimonials. If you're a restaurant, it would be pictures of the amazing food, the great Google reviews, things that really help tell the story of how good your product or service is. So, consideration is that second step in the funnel. The third step is conversion. Now, we talked about that earlier. That's where they're clicking through to your website. They're actually coming into the restaurant. They're placing a carry-out order. They're, submitting a form to go through a demo of your software. Those kinds of things are conversion. They've got to know who you are. They've got to know that you're good before they'll move toward that step. Now, the next step after that is advocacy. And if you take really good care of your customers, and you give them your attention on social media as well, you can turn them into advocates. And what I mean by that is they are the people that will come to you and they will respond to customer complaints on your social posts and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I go there all the time and I've never had that happen. That's really unusual." So there's a reason that your social media marketing ties in with your entire ecosystem of your business. It should. It's a great way to talk to people, to talk to your customers, to get them to, understand certain aspects of your business. So before you get started on any social media effort, you're going to want to set some smart goals. And what I mean by that is they need to be specific, they need to be measurable, they need to be achievable. You can't say, I'm going to make $1 million on social media this month. So make sure it's achievable. They need to be relevant and they need to be time bound. So, for example, if you are going for an awareness campaign, you may say in the next 90 days, I want to grow our following on Facebook to or Instagram or TikTok to 500 people. And that type of a goal it's measurable, it's doable, it's got a time attached to it so you know within what time frame you're going to complete it. So that smart way of doing goals and setting them, writing them down and then tracking them can really help you put together a social media marketing effort that works because it will help you plan ahead, help you be consistent, and help you make sure that you have tactics in place that you can follow. Your business objectives should shape your social media content. And what I mean by that is if you are um, writing down goals, you'll want to be looking at your business objectives. Are you planning on increasing sales by a certain amount? Do you want to introduce new menu items? Do you want to drop other things off the menu without getting a lot of complaints? Do you want to attract a higher income level customer? Do you want to attract really good employees? What is it that you are trying to accomplish? What are your business goals? And it may not be just make money, sell product. It may be, get volunteers or donations or supporters or to get people to participate in a promotion. There's a lot of different things that you can do with social media, and you're going to start with your business objectives and then work through those and see where social media can support them. And as we go through this course, I know that things will pop up that will help you understand what that means and how the objectives connect to the social content. So, what should you not do if you're getting ready to embark on a social media effort for your business? Don't waste time. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Perfect is the enemy of done. You will make mistakes. Honestly, I would suggest you allow yourself to suck for a while because honestly, nobody is really good at this when they first start. I looked back at my early content. Again, I've been doing this for like 18 years. And I look back at some of my early content and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I put that up there. At the time when I was brand new, it was what I considered good content. That evolves over time. You will learn, it will get better. Perfection is the enemy of done. Do not let perfection get in the way. And also, don't set yourself up by thinking that you have to do it perfectly. So you better learn some more. Once you take this course, you need to jump out there. Matter of fact, during this course, jump out there and start doing it because that's the way you learn. I heard someone say once that you learn a whole lot more French in Paris than you do in French class. Oh my God, that is so true. The best way to learn is by doing. And so that's what we're going to do during this course. And I have put up a PDF that you can look at and answer some questions, do a little bit of reflection, and start on those goals before the next module. So thank you again for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon.